Welcome to U.S. immigration. President Biden is very confident about his new immigration plans.
We are putting in place a plan that I feel very confident about, and I don't care what the other guy does.
The other guy was Biden's way of referring to former President Donald Trump.
Under this administration, there are various flexibilities and plans announced by different departments to reduce the immigration backlogs and delays. There are also changes to the immigration documents and forms. USCIS also provided various tips to avoid rejections, avoid processing delays, and ways to speed up your immigration case. USCIS has also updated its policy manual. The USCIS Policy Manual is the agency's centralized online repository for USCIS immigration policies. If you are interested in these topics, please stick around till the end of this video. For your immigration news and updates, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. Let's get into the video. USCIS is further extending the flexibilities to assist applicants, petitioners, and requesters who are responding to certain USCIS notices. Is it applicable for you? Let's check. The accommodation will continue to be available for stakeholders filing or responding to the following: requests for evidence, RFE, continuations to request evidence, N14, notices of intent to deny, NOID, notices of intent to revoke, NOIR, notices of intent to terminate, NOIT, notices of intent to rescind, motions to reopen an N400, Form I-290B, appeal or motion filing requirements to reopen an adverse USCIS decision. Form N-336, request for a hearing on a decision in naturalization proceedings, filing date requirements. The accommodations, which were initially announced last year in March 2020 as a means of minimizing negative consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. They were originally set to end on September 2020, but due to the pandemic it was extended until January 2021 and later up to March 2021. Now the date has been extended once again to give flexibilities for the applicants. The new deadline will be June 30, 2021. So what it means for due dates of your forms. USCIS is providing additional dates for the applicants to act on their application responses. So USCIS will provide additional 60 calendar days after the response due date mentioned in your request or notice before taking any action. Let's get into the next topic. USCIS has updated its policy manuals. It also announced that it's updating its old forms due to various changes in the visa and green card rules lately. In January, USCIS announced it is going to issue green card sticker to extend validity of expired or expiring green cards. So as per this policy update, USCIS will not collect expired green cards to destroy them if green card sticker is issued or if a valid receipt notice is issued as evidence of continuing legal permanent residence status. All these new policy has been updated in the USCIS policy manual as technical update. The USCIS Policy Manual is the agency's centralized online repository for USCIS immigration policies. The policy manual provides transparency of immigration policies and furthers consistency, quality, and efficiency consistent with the USCIS mission. Link to USCIS Policy Manual is provided in the description of this video. On top of this, USCIS is updating more than a dozen forms. To avoid rejections and confusion, please use the latest forms. New edition dated 3/10/2021 of these forms are published in USCIS website starting April 19, 2021. USCIS only accepts the 3/10/2021 edition. Until then, you can use the old version too, but to avoid confusion of missing out some information, it is always advisable to use the newer version of the forms from the USCIS website. You can find the edition date at the bottom of the page on each form. The changed forms are: Form I-485, application to register permanent residence. Form I-129, petition for a non-immigrant worker. Form I-539, application to extend or change non-immigrant status. Form I-485 Supplement J. Form I-485 Supplement A. Form I-912, request for fee waiver. Form I-864, I-864A, I-864W, I-864EZ, I-129CW, I-129CWR and G-1055. Please read the filing instructions and check the USCIS filing fees carefully before you file the forms. After the specified date, USCIS will start rejecting the old version of the forms. Check the USCIS link in the description of the video for updated forms. These form updates will not impact any of your filed cases unless you are refiling the rejected applications. Now get into the last topic about USCIS rejections and tips from USCIS to avoid these rejections. To get started, we need to know the difference between USCIS denying a case and USCIS rejecting a case. People are often surprised to know that there is a major difference between these two USCIS actions. Denial. A denial is when USCIS fully evaluates your case and basically determines that you do not qualify for the immigration benefit that you're applying for. Rejection. A rejection is much different than a denial. When USCIS rejects a case, they do not review the case to determine whether or not you qualify. Basically, when USCIS rejects a case, it means that you filed something incorrectly. So rather than reviewing the case to see if you qualify, USCIS basically sends your application back to you and does not cash your filing fee check. They do not review your case. It's almost like you never even filed your case. So why does USCIS reject cases? And what can you do to avoid having this happen to you? USCIS has rejected cases due to policy changes and sometimes erroneously. A few examples of erroneous rejections are rejections for leaving a box blank, rejections for not putting NA in every box, rejections for not including evidence that isn't required, rejections with no stated reason, rejecting an application because a name was typed instead of handwritten in a box. But not all rejections are erroneous. Every year USCIS rejects thousands of cases because of mistakes that people make when submitting their application. Here are 4 of the top reasons for USCIS rejecting a case. 1. Filing your application using an outdated immigration form. One reason for USCIS rejecting a case is due to filing with outdated immigration form. When you apply for an immigration benefit with USCIS, you usually have to submit a USCIS form with your application. The form asks multiple questions, such as your name, address, date of birth, and other important information. USCIS regularly updates these forms, as we have discussed in the earlier section of this video. If you file your application using an outdated immigration form, USCIS will reject your case. To avoid making this mistake, you should make sure to access the USCIS webpage for the specific form for your case and make sure to download the most current version of the form. Working with an experienced immigration lawyer can also help you to avoid making costly mistakes. 2. Filing your case using the incorrect filing fee. The next reason why someone can have their case rejected is by filing their application using the wrong filing fee. For many types of immigration applications filed with USCIS, a filing fee is required. The fee is how USCIS funds its operation. USCIS regularly updates their fees for various services. So if USCIS increases or decreases its fee for a particular application, and you file your application using the old fee, USCIS will reject the application. Sometimes USCIS uses the same form for multiple types of applications. For example, a Form I-131 is used for advance parole, re-entry permits, and refugee travel documents. Each of these services have different fees. Similarly, USCIS charges different fees depending on the age of the applicant applying for the immigration benefit. So make sure to look at the correct fee based on the service requested and age of the applicant from the USCIS website. Carefully read the directions to make sure you are sending the correct filing fee for your case. If you are unsure, ask an immigration expert. 3. Sending your application to the wrong USCIS address. Another reason why USCIS will reject your case is you sending your application to the wrong USCIS address. When you file an immigration application with USCIS, you have to submit your application to the correct address. The tricky part is that, in many cases, USCIS has different addresses to submit your application depending on where you live. In addition, in many cases, USCIS has different addresses depending on which mail carrier you send your application with, such as FedEx, USPS, or UPS. To avoid making mistakes when sending your application, check the USCIS instructions for the specific application you are submitting. 4. Page missing on the form. Another reason why USCIS might reject a case is if there are pages missing from the immigration forms. When you submit an immigration form, every single page of the form needs to be included. If a single page is missing, USCIS can reject the case. To avoid this, flip through the immigration forms to make sure that all pages of the relevant form are included and you didn't accidentally leave a page out. USCIS forms usually have numbers on the bottom right corner of the form, for example page 1 of 20, 2 of 20, etc. Make sure that all pages are included. When your case is rejected, USCIS basically sends your application back to you and does not cash your filing fee check. They do not review your case. It's almost like you never even filed your case. So you have to fix the error and refile. This wastes a lot of your precious time and again push you back to the end of immigration line. If you properly filed your form, USCIS will send a receipt notice to the mailing address provided on your form, normally within 30 days. But lately we have seen this wait time has increased 3-folds. But it is expected to go down soon. If your submission is incomplete or improperly filed, USCIS will reject it per current procedures. Here are the tips from USCIS which you can do to decrease the processing time for your case. File online, if this option is available for your form type, and receive immediate confirmation about USCIS receiving your form instead of waiting for the snail mail. Create a free USCIS online account and check the status of your case from your mobile device, anywhere, anytime using Case Status Online tool. Please check our earlier video linked in the description on step-by-step instruction for creating a USCIS online account. Complete Form G1145, e-notification of application petition acceptance, and clip it to the front of your form to request a text message or email when your form is accepted. Submit only the required evidence and supporting documentation listed in the form instructions in single-sided photocopies unless the form instructions specifically state you must submit an original document. Always send in original passport photos where requested. Hope the information presented in the video is useful. U.S. Immigration Channel will be releasing a video when additional information is available on any of these program or regulations. If you have not subscribed, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. See you soon in our next video.